going to assemble themselves on a desk. It needs a designer like you, for example, to put it together.
Well, in terms of ID, intelligent design, I'm very open to that because the math and physics. See, I now teach PhD level math and physics, and so I know a lot of that stuff. And personally, just my personal view, that I wouldn't be at all surprised that the laws of physics have been actually designed, and I'm deeply suspicious that that's the case because why on earth is the universe? Why are the laws of physics so deeply mathematical?
Yes, and of course that was Crick and Watson. At least one of them put out the idea of panspermia after he looked at DNA. He said, "Hey, this is a program. This is built." Of course, he didn't want to embrace the God of the Bible, so he created some aliens who would come and do that. But I want to get back to some of the other calls. Let's go to Brian in Indiana. Brian, are you still there? Okay, let's go to JD in Mississippi. JD. Oh, okay. Well, let's go to Michael in Missouri. Michael, go ahead.
Yeah, how you doing, David?
Good. Go ahead.
Yeah, first I just want to say something that you'll probably be interested in just real quick before I ask my question. I have a friend named Josh, and we set up a GoFundMe.com/ThePromised fund for him. It's just all about this medical tyranny. I don't want to explain it. People can go there. It's GoFundMe.com/ThePromised with a ED on the promise. But,
that's good. Yeah, do you have a question for Dr. DeGaris on artificial intelligence?
I was wondering if he's ever read the book The Feed that came out in probably the last 15 years, and if he has, does he think that, I mean, it's a fictional book, but is that where we're headed? Because I don't want to be going there.
Well, what's the premise of that book?
It's where most of the population live in huge cities all over the country, and they travel on up cars through tubes, and there's a small population of people who don't have any chips in them.
Kind of like Agenda 21, in other words. I've read that book too. Okay. Dr. DeGaris, did you have any comment on that? It's a little bit off topic, but...
I've not read that particular book, but I'm scared stiff of this idea of chipping the population, which is what the New World Order is all about. That scares me crazy.
Yes, we share that concern, absolutely. Let's go to Eric in Michigan. Eric.
Yeah, hi, Dave. Thanks for taking my call. Dr. Hugo, I've heard you a number of times today refer to these machines as gods, as creating gods. And also you're referring to the human race as having feeble lives, and the fact that our lives are so short. I don't know. Wouldn't we be the gods if we're the ones that are creating the machines? Just like many people believe that a God created our universe.
Well, I think Dr. Garris, did you want to address that? I think your idea is that these once they get to a certain level, they would transcend us.
Yes, yeah. That's the obvious answer. I mean, obviously, we as humans, we would be the parents. Right? We would kick off. We would start the process, and then after, very quickly, they would just gather their own momentum and just do it themselves. And very quickly, we human beings, we wouldn't be able to understand what they were doing. I mean, they're thinking a million times faster than we are. They're growing their circuitry at a rate that we couldn't understand. They could rearrange their circuitry and architecture in like milliseconds. We would just be absolutely lost. But yes, we are at square zero. We start the process, we kick it off, and then it goes ahead on its own momentum.
The idea that once it gets to a certain level of intelligence and capable of independent thought, that you would have something similar to what we saw portrayed in the movie Terminator, when Skynet becomes self-aware. Or you might think of the intelligence as reaching a critical mass, if you want to use a nuclear analogy. Once it reaches a critical mass, all of a sudden it just explodes and starts to go. And as you point out, the real question is whether or not it's going to happen quickly or over a slower period of time. Let's go to Dennis in Colorado. Dennis. Oh, wait, we've got to go to a commercial break. We'll be right back. We're talking to Dr. Hugo DeGaris about the possibility of an artificial intelligence war. One fought over the development of artificial intelligence, or perhaps one fought with artificial intelligence. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
This is Sharon Hunt. Before using Heart and Body Extract, my energy level was very, very low. I could only walk a few feet and then would have to sit down. I was tired and lethargic. But after taking Heart and Body Extract, my energy level has improved greatly, and I can now walk longer distances without getting tired so fast. Thank you, Heart and Body Extract.
Learn the secrets of an effective, natural, 100% organic nutritional supplement for a healthy heart and circulation at hbextract.com.
As the New World Order continues to tighten its grip on every facet of our lives, we're all asking ourselves, how can we maintain our independence? The answer is clear. Get prepared, and you get prepared now. Now the only question left is, where do we begin? My Patriot Supply is here to help. Call 800-247-3070 to get started with your 72-hour emergency food supply for only $10. We're even covering the cost of shipping. Are you willing to rely on the government and FEMA in the event of an emergency? Call 800-274-3070 to get started with your 72-hour emergency food supply for only $10. You won't be able to find this deal online, and there is a strict limit of 4 per caller, so don't wait. Call now, 800-274-3070. That's 800-274-3070. Call right now.
Used since before the days of the Roman Empire to support the body's natural systems and enhance overall health. Introducing the new InfoWarsLife.com oil of oregano formulation, a highly advanced nutraceutical form of this key herb that has been traditionally used by civilizations for thousands of years to promote health. We have now procured the most high quality and potent forms of oregano oil on the market, sourced from top leading manufacturers to ensure a concentrated level of bioactive ingredients. Extracted directly from the wild herb and sealed in easy-to-use capsules, you will no longer need to endure the burning of liquid oregano on the tongue. Wild crafted from the Mediterranean oregano species that experts agree is one of the most powerful and most challenging to acquire. This winter season, it's more important than ever to secure this true form of oil of oregano. Now available in our limited first run at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
It's happening again. The feds are trying to ban your freedom to own body armor. In January, a newly introduced bill, H.R. 378, will take away your right to buy Level 3 and higher body armor. Katie Armor offers the most affordable Level 3 body armor packages on the market today. Protect yourself. Buy your body armor now before it's too late. Go to katiearmor.com. That's CATI armor.com. Come and take it.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm David Knight, and we're talking to Dr. Hugo de Garis, one of the pioneers in artificial intelligence. We're talking to him about his book, The Artilect War, about the first war of artificial intelligence, actually a war over whether artificial intelligence should be developed, whether or not we're going to have super intelligent machines that might threaten the existence of mankind. Dr. de Garis takes a dystopian view of the long term over artificial intelligence versus Ray Kurzweil's decidedly utopian view. I wanted to get to your calls and questions. We just have him for one more second, so let's try to go through these as quickly as we can. Let's go to Al in Arkansas. Al.
Dr. de Garis,
I guess not as much a question as it is a comment as a Christian. But I believe that when man exalts himself to a situation of trying to make himself God, that we will suffer God's wrath. Do you have any comment about that? And that's just my question, I guess.
Well, I'm not religious. Humanity has invented about 100,000 different gods over the broad sweep of history and over the planet. Every primitive little tribe invents its own gods. So I'm somewhat cynical of one particular, like everyone's an atheist. You've probably heard this argument before. Everyone's an atheist with respect to the 99.9999% of gods that they don't believe in. And the atheist just goes one step further.
Okay, yeah, I think what the caller is getting at is actually goes back to one of the first stories in the Bible, Garden of Eden, where the promise was you will become like God. And I guess that's always been an enticement to motivate people. Let's go to J.D. in Mississippi. J.D., you had a question about drones for Dr. Hugo de Garis. Go ahead.
Yes. I was wondering, I might be a little bit naive on the subject, but how will they get by the fail-safe switch or the kill switch? And also, how will drones refuel themselves, or will they just have so many of them that it won't matter? Will they just, there'll be so many of them that it's like a swarm.
Well, Dr. de Garis is really kind of talking about a different kind of thing. He's talking about massively intelligent artificial intelligence. But, of course, autonomous drones, that is maybe one way that we may see some manifestation of some early artificial intelligence, isn't it, Dr. de Garis?
Well, I imagine drones, in fact, I think it's already been done. I'm not an expert in this field, but there are drones like the size of a centimeter, or really tiny.
Micro UAVs.
Yeah, so once the resolution on the cameras and control, once all those technical problems have been solved, and for all I know that's already the case, then I can imagine this spying just going on everywhere, all over the planet, including the things that the governments want to keep secret. So it's like a two-edged sword. So then the public becomes more aware of the so-called secret installations and all these bunkers underneath, under the ground and so on. So that governments have a really hard time keeping anything secret.
Yes, true.
I hope that kind of thing happens.
Well, what we're seeing right now with drones is essentially like remote control killing devices. We even had an article earlier this week that was on the Drudge Report about some police departments using remote control mechanical cops. I mean, that's not what we're talking about here in terms of artificial intelligence, but that is, I think, what most people are thinking about in terms of the projection of power, the concentration of power. Let's go quickly to Brian in Indiana. Brian?
Hello?
Hello, go ahead.
Hello? Thank you. Thanks, David. My question was about the possible malevolence versus benevolence of AI, seen in Isaac Asimov's The Last Question, if you're familiar with the story, versus what do you call it? Prey by Michael Crichton, if you're familiar with that story too.
Go ahead, Dr. Garis.
I'm not clear on what the question is.
I think he's asking maybe the AIs will be benevolent. I know that the movie Her that recently came out, Ray Kurzweil was very excited about that because basically they reach to a point where they say, yeah, you guys are fine, but you're really not very interesting. They just basically go off on their own and do their own thing.
Well, I see both. I mean, obviously there'll be real benefits. We can get rid of cancer and disease and aging and all this wonderful nano stuff. On the positive side, I don't deny that. There'll be definitely both aspects, but it's the negative that really worries me. Once these machines become massively intelligent, then who's to say that they may look on us as pests and decide to wipe us out? That's what really worries me.
Yes, and I'm concerned, as I know you are, Dr. de Garis, as to what our governments are going to do with the technology that we hand them. That's why I think it's a very interesting paradox for people who are in engineering and science to think about the consequences of what they're developing. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Hugo de Garis. Again, that book is The Artilect War. 10 years old, but very relevant today. Today it's in the discussion. We'll be right back with Paul Joseph.